Greetings, people. It's Mr. Paul the Trigger yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. So, on this chapter, there are dots that I want us to connect. I know I was not supposed to do this episode at this time. Maybe I'm doing it prematurely, but I think I should bring everything and I should allow the public, not just the public, because I know for sure there are some people out there that can be of great assistance in their input, can help us speed up this process of knowing where baby testimony is, and also help us or facilitate in whatever that needs to be done to make sure that we get to the end, to make sure that we find justice for baby testimony as soon as possible. I know there's a team that I work with, they'll probably say, no, Prof X, we're not supposed to do this episode now. We told you to wait. Of course, they did tell me to wait, but it has not been settling well in my spirit. I would better have it known to the public. I would better have it analyzed by the public and have as many people, as many hands as possible on this case so that we can get to the end of it as soon as possible. And right now, as I speak to you, Omoto, Fofane, Precious Lungu, and everyone from their side, they know that where we are at the edge. They know that they are at the edge. They know that they're just going to be exposed, whether they like it or they don't. I learned the hard way, this thing of saying, let me wait for the right time to let people know what's happening or to expose what needs to be exposed or to bring issues to the public so that people can connect the dots that needs to be connected. Because this issue of baby testimony is very sensitive. That's how sensitive it is. Recently, I lost a victim called Comfort. Most of you know Comfort. I've spoken just in brief about her case and what happened to her. And she passed away while she was giving birth. The cause of the death, according to the report, I'll bring it again when we are going to investigate or when we are going to expose their experience, what she went through, the threats, intimidation, the arrests, and who the father of the child is and who made her pregnant. Because according to Comfort, she was made pregnant by Omoto Fofane and she was forced to do an abortion of this child. I have all the proof, I have all the records, I have all her confessions. And during the entire time she was pregnant, she was being threatened and threatened and threatened. Her little ones being arrested and arrested and arrested until the day she got to the 9 months where she was supposed to deliver, and the baby made it, and she couldn't make it. Remember, these people, they have connections everywhere. One thing that Jeremiah never wanted to happen was for this child to be born. That's why he kept on threatening this young lady. They even made her go to the police and sign that Jeremiah Omoto, or write an affidavit that Jeremiah Omoto is not the father of this child, of this pregnancy. Jeremiah Omoto is not responsible. They forced her to do that so that they can stop intimidating her. And they gave her 3 million naira to say, okay, now go look after yourself because you have signed this affidavit. Why would Omoto go that extra mile to get this young lady sign an affidavit to debunk the allegations that Omoto is the father if he had nothing to do with it? Why couldn't he wait? If he had nothing to do with it, why couldn't he wait for this young lady to give birth and then a DNA test can be carried out? DNA test will prove that Omoto is not the father. Why does he need or have to write an affidavit to say that Jeremiah Omoto is not the father of this child? Because they knew she was not going to make it. And if there is of course, they knew she was not going to make it. They wanted to make sure that she doesn't make it. So the only thing that they wanted to be left with was an affidavit, a sworn record, which says that Comfort herself said Omoto is not the father of the child. Now that she's gone, and I couldn't bring this case out when she was still alive, of which many people could have assisted. Someone could have assisted. Someone could have helped her relocate her, put her in a different place, so that she can have free delivery and a safe delivery. Because of this case, I don't feel so much comfortable with holding certain things that might help us to get justice and expose certain things. That guilty conscience will still hound you to say, had you done this, had you done this, had you did this, had you done this, Comfort could be still alive right now. But we lost her because of saying, okay, let's wait for the right time. When she gives birth, then we'll talk about it. She gave birth, but she's no more. No one can speak for her now, except the confessions that she made and except the testimonials that I'm only left with. But that's not the topic of the discussion. Because of this case, and I feel like it's very important for me to bring this information as well to the public concerning baby testimony and the connection of Precious Lungu and the connection of Mercy City, Mercyland. The reason why I'm saying Mercy City, Mercyland, you understand as I proceed with this episode. Apparently, in Zambia, Lusaka, we have an academic institution which was recently changed. The name was recently changed in, I think, in 2020. It started operating online in 2020. And remember, baby testimony was abducted 15 April 2019. This particular school, maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not. It's called Mercyland Christian School. This is their logo. It's in Zambia, Lusaka. As you can see the logo, it's Mercyland Christian School. This page, this business page for this particular school, which is called Mercyland Christian School. Before I explain much about the school, I want you to read, to make some connections here. Mercyland is also the name of Jeremiah Omoto's shrine. It was first called Mercyland before it became Mercy City. Are you following? Yes. So this school was registered online. I'm saying online. When I say online, I'm saying on digital platforms. They created this business page for this school in 2020. On the 13th of February 2020. As you can see here on the details of the business page of Mercyland Christian School, it can show here that it was created on the 13th of February 2020. Check its Facebook profile. This is the profile of Mercyland Christian School. One thing that I also want you to pay attention to, or before I make you pay attention to that one particular thing, you can see the profile, the display picture of this school. It's a poster, and this poster has beautiful kids, beautiful young peoples that attend to this Mercyland Christian School. And keep in your mind that Omoto's shrine is called Mercyland. So the question is, could there be a connection between this Mercyland in Lusaka, Zambia? Lusaka, Zambia, that's where Precious Lungu resides or operates. And to those of you who do not know Precious Lungu, I think you should revisit my previous episodes to understand who Precious Lungu is and how she's affiliated and connected to Jeremiah Omoto Fofeng. So I want you to zoom in into the profile display picture of this business school, or of this school called Mercyland Christian School. Let's zoom it. So this is the actual poster, as big as it is, with very beautiful young men. And as you can see what is written, the caption there, it's written as offering nursery, lower and upper. Plot number, that's the address, 1031 7 Palm Drive Road. The contact details are there as you can see them. So those are the kids that I used for marketing of this school called Mercyland Christian School. But there's one thing I want us to do. I want us to zoom in all these kids that are on this poster. And I want you to tell me what you notice or what you spot from these kids that are on this poster. Remember, this is public information. This poster is online already. So we are just cross-examining to see if there can be traces, or if we can find maybe one that resembles our own, one that resembles baby testimony. So as we zoom in on this poster, look at the first boy that is on your extreme left, and look at the second boy that is behind that pretty little princess, and look at the pretty little princess in front. There's another one at the center. It is another one next to her with the pom-pom. It is another gentleman behind her that is smiling. It is another boy again that is in front of them. And extreme right, there's another young sister, obviously. She can't be affiliated or have anything to do with baby testimony. So you having cross-examined all these little beautiful kids, I want you to pause this video. At this point, as you are observing these kids, just pause it. Before I give you or before I lead you into what I observed, so that you don't say that I seeded this plant in your head to think what I think. I want you to pause this video for the next 5 or 10 seconds. Let's just say 15 seconds. Pause it, it's important. So that before I tell you or I give you my own analysis or my own observation, it does not have to be me that have told you that have you noticed this. So on this particular moment, pause it and leave a comment below and tell me what you think before I tell you what I think or what I might have observed. Remember, we're analyzing. We're putting 1 and 2 together. So this is just a social experiment between you and me, so that I know that are we on the same page or what I'm seeing and what you're seeing is different. So pause it, make a comment, leave a comment, tell me what you're observing. I hope you've paused this video. Okay. So tell me, what have you observed? What have you observed? I hope you have told me what you think you have noticed. Personally, in my personal capacity, from my own observation, this is what I observed. As I was looking at this poster, I zoomed each and every one on this particular poster of Mercyland Christian School. I zoomed each and every child and I cross-examined their looks to just try to see if there can be any chances of one of them being our own, being baby testimony. And looking at the ages of the rest of them, I couldn't really put a finger on any of the young boys that are there to say, they look alike. No, they don't. But on this particular one, on the extreme right, there are so many questions I have about this young, beautiful boy, this young, handsome boy. I'm not saying that he is. I'm not saying that he's not. But I'm saying there's just something. Something, people. Look very closely. Look very closely. Look very closely at this particular young man. He looks alike. He resembles someone that we know. And he's a student at Mercyland Christian School in Zambia, Lusaka. Or maybe you've zoomed enough. Let's just try to do a little bit of comparison to see what we can come out with. Let's collage the pictures, the old picture when baby testimony was 2 years old, and this picture of this young man in 2020. And let's see if we can get something to carry home with or to walk away with. This is a collage of our baby testimony and the young man that is appearing on the poster of Mercyland Christian School. What are the chances? Are you observing something? Are you seeing something? They do look alike, don't they? They do resemble each other, don't they? Pause, people, so that we can be on this together and then we know where we are headed. Okay, now that you have observed what you've observed, now let's try to link the Mercyland in Lusaka, Zambia, and the Mercyland in Nigeria that is being administered by Jeremiah Omoto for fame. Is it a coincidence that of the names being the same, that this school is called Mercyland and Omoto's church is called Mercyland? Could this school be a subsidiary of the Mercyland church in Nigeria? These are questions that I'm asking. And at this Mercyland, it's in Lusaka, Zambia. And in Lusaka, Zambia, there is someone that Sister Ruth Matthew confirmed that abducted her child. And that someone is Precious Lungu. So the next step is, as we walk through this conversation, how is Precious Lungu associated with this school called Mercyland? Does she have anything to do with it? Is she connected in any way to this Mercyland Christian School? Chances are she cannot even have her name on the directorships or her name might be nowhere on the papers of this school. So who's the owner and who's the founder? Before we even look into that deep, let's just go through the Mercyland Christian School page, business page, to see what we can pick away from there. If we can locate someone that we might know, because when I was going through it, I came across this lady that looks like Precious Lungu. And when I asked, someone said she might be Precious Lungu's sister. I'm not saying she is, but someone said she might be because they look alike. And from inside information, they confirmed that this is Precious Lungu's sister. How far true that is, it has not yet been verified. But this lady is a tutor there at this school. If she is indeed Precious Lungu's sister, then it can mean one or two other things. As you can see, they look very much alike. So those are the dots for now that I think we have to connect. Is that baby testimony that is in the picture of Mercyland Christian School? According to the research and the findings, that young man is 5 years old. On the poster, he's 5 years old. I'm not saying this so that the family or the assumed parents of this young man to feel threatened or to say, oh, why are they? No, my brother or my mother or my sister out there. If you are the one who's in custody of this boy, don't run. Don't move. If you do confirm that this is your child, because there's one thing that you should know. I know they'll try to do it. This young man has papers already. That is not enough for the family to come out and say, no, this is our child. Look at the birth history. No, that's not enough. Anytime a child is abducted from one nation to the other, it is a responsibility of those that are taking custody of that child or custody of that child to make sure that they do all the paperwork that makes it look legit on the paper. Do you understand? That makes this look legit on the paper. So there can be all the track record of each and every piece of information that is needed for the parents of this young man to prove that it's their child. On paperwork is not enough. There's only one thing that can confirm that this indeed is their child or this indeed is not Ruth Matthews' child. And I hope you already know what that one thing is. You people don't be worried to say, no, you're posting pictures again. No. As soon as we get any picture that resembles baby testimony, we'll scrutinize it and we'll bring it out to the public. This young man looks like baby testimony. And the parents, they are obligated to do anything that they can and to prove it that this is not baby testimony. And it does not end there. This is where it begins. From this point, this could be the beginning of the end or the end of the beginning concerning this case of baby testimony. It could be. If it happens that this young man is not baby testimony, then we'll keep digging. But with all the dots that we have connected so far, chances are 99% chances are this child could be. If it's not a coincidence that they just look alike, this child could be baby testimony. So Zambians, what do we do now? The president of Zambia, I know you're an honorable man. The police in Zambia, I know they're honorable officers. The judiciary in Zambia, I salute you. And the Zambian citizens, you people are the best. We have not yet concluded. We have just connected some dots. What is the connection between Mercyland and Mercyland Christian School and Mercyland Jeremiah Omoto's church in Nigeria? What is the connection? Should I leave it here or should I go deeper? Going deeper is premature. But my spirit has compelled me to allow you people to also be on board connecting these dots. Many hands will make sure that we resolve this case amicably and quicker. And to my team that think that I have done this, prematurely, it is okay. I hate to do it. And people need to know. Zambians need to know. Omoto for Fame needs to know, of which I know he already knows, that there are slight chances of getting out of this. If it happens that this is not baby testimony, then we move. We move with no regrets. We move, people. But go revisit the pictures again, check the pictures again, tell me what you think. Let's come to the conclusion together so that we be on this together. My own is to find out what needs to be connected, and your own is to give me the second opinion to say, okay, this is that, this is this. So for now, there's no any other issue that I'm paying attention to except this one of baby testimony. After we get baby testimony, then let's talk about everything else. Let's talk about all the other things. But justice for baby testimony comes first and as a priority to me. And we need to find baby testimony. So the ball is in your court, my people. This is my story. These are our findings. So till I meet you again on the next episode of the Enlightenment series, it's Mr. Pull the Trigger. I'm out.